What is good, everybody? Richie here, and welcome back to the channel. Before we dive right into things, be sure to smash that like button. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you're somebody new, and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all my shenanigans here on the channel. And yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about it. In a world where movies and TV and streaming services are failing the average content consumer, there is an outlet, and that outlet has been for quite some time video games. Video games have been the outlier, the exception to the rule. Video games have been the escape from our terrible reality. Video games, at least for me anyway, have been the video games have been the escape from the terrible reality that we live in today's society. But there's something going on in the video game industry that needs to be addressed. I'm going to go ahead and call it the the cyberpunk conundrum. So I'm not sure why things are happening the way that they are, but it would seem as though these gaming companies all over the gaming industry are for some reason getting away with releasing a video game that's not a final product. Somehow they get greenlit to go gold, which means that they can essentially release the game when they come up with an announcement date. Somehow these games are passing industry, let's call them standards, and they're getting released, and they're completely unfinished. They have all types of glitches and bugs, and the games, some of them anyway, are just an absolute technical mess. And I'm going to go ahead and call it the cyberpunk conundrum. Now, don't get me wrong. From what I understand, Cyberpunk 2077 has gotten a lot better since it was released in 2020. God, that feels like it was so long ago. But Cyberpunk has gotten a lot better, and they're getting some free DLC. I think the Phantom Liberty DLC comes out sometime next year. But forgetting Cyberpunk, let's just discuss the elephant in the room. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just released, and in 3 days' time, 72 hours, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold over 10 million copies. 99.9% sure Scarlet and Violet from the Pokemon franchise are the fastest selling video game of all time in history. These games are an absolute technical mess all the way around. I've seen the glitches. I've seen the videos on Twitter, and I'm sure some of them are highly fantasized and they have been messed around with, and I'm sure that there are quite a few glitches in the game that are not actually a part of the game. It's just somebody trolling. But I have friends that have played Scarlet and Violet. Despite the fact that the games are a technical mess, from what I'm understanding, they are fun. There's fun to be had in these games. So it's kind of giving me mind you, I have not played Scarlet or Violet. I'm just reporting on what I've been seeing. I guess you could call Scarlet and Violet basically the Skyrim or the Fallout of the Pokemon franchise. They're technical messes and they have their bugs, but there's still a lot of fun to be had playing these games, which I totally get. But mind you, I'm not really a huge Pokemon game fan anyway. But my concern is that, I mean, obviously they're going to have to fix the game. They can't just allow it to stay this way because the Pokemon Company will get faced with class action lawsuits if they don't fix it. Obviously, they're going to have to fix it. But my concern for the future is this becoming the industry standard? It doesn't matter anymore. We can release the game to please the shareholders, and we can just patch it later. This is not a good look on any video game developer company in the entire industry. It's not a good look. It looks extremely bad. And ultimately, you're going to have fans who are pissed off. You're going to have shareholders that get pissed off. And then you're also going to end up losing fans and losing shareholders. It's not a good look, no matter which way you slice it. And it just makes me wonder, how can the industry move forward in a positive light if they release games that are not finished? It's something that I've been thinking about for a while. I've been wondering, and it just keeps happening where there's a big game release, it comes out, it's a giant buggy mess, and I'm sitting here scratching my head trying to figure out, how did this game go gold? How did this game pass the standards to get printed, shipped out, and was able to start collecting profit? It fucking baffles me that somehow, some way, these companies are getting away with this. But they're not getting away with it. I mean, if there's a big enough stink about it, and there's a big enough issue about it, you could face a class action lawsuit like CD Projekt Red. Multiple class action lawsuits. I'm sure that the court cases will get drawn out, and it'll be this long thing that basically almost never happens. But I digress. I'm fearful for the future landscape of what video games and the industry could look like if this shit continues to happen. And I don't want it to. And I'm sure that most of you don't want it to either. It's a scary feeling. Back in the day, 15 years ago, when you released the game had to be good before you released it. Otherwise, there was no patching games back then. There was no, okay, we'll just ship the game and then we'll fix it later. No, dude, that shit wasn't a thing. But now it seems to be more, I don't know, man. The gamers, we have to vote with our wallet, dude. You have to call it like it is. And as much as I have friends that absolutely love the Pokemon Company and they love the Pokemon video games, they in my opinion, the Pokemon Company is one of the biggest scammers of all time. They are selling you, and have been selling you, the same fucking game for over 15 years. They've been selling you the same game. Yes, there have been slight variances in how the turn-based combat is executed, and there's different Pokemon to collect, and there's a national dex, different regions, whatever. But at the end of the day, for me, it has still been the same game that it was in 1998. the game has to evolve. They have to change. They have to start going in a new direction. And Pokemon Legends Arceus, I would say I didn't pick that game up, but I would say that if I was ever going to pick up a Pokemon game, that would probably be the one. I kind of had a funny feeling about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I wasn't too sure, but after, some of the things that I've heard, I've decided to not participate. But I just hope that the industry doesn't embrace this culture of we can make a game, we can get it just to pass like the base standards, then we'll ship it out just to make those shareholders happy, and then we'll fix the game later. It's fucking bullshit, man, and I'm sick of it. But what do I know? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys having a good time playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? I'm sure you are. And I hope that you are, because as someone who's not a Pokemon game fan, I feel bad for the people who love Pokemon who are playing this game who didn't get the experience that they wanted. I just feel really bad. But what do I know? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with your friend. Every little bit helps, and I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me every single step of the way. We're on the way to 2,000 subscribers. I just want you to know, guys, I love you. You guys are great. You're the reason why I continue to do this, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.